Imagine waking up and realizing a single day has lasted longer than an entire year. Sounds impossible, right? But on one planet, that's just reality. Welcome to Venus, the planet that defies time itself. Here's the crazy part. Venus rotates so slowly that one full day on this planet lasts a whopping 243 Earth days. That's longer than its entire year, which is only 225 Earth days. That means if you were standing on Venus, you'd see the sun rise once every 243 days. By the time it rose again, you'd already be older by a full year. And if that wasn't strange enough, Venus spins the wrong way. Unlike Earth and most other planets, Venus rotates clockwise, while Earth rotates counterclockwise. If you could see through its thick, poisonous clouds, you'd watch the sun rise in the west and set in the east, the exact opposite of Earth. Scientists aren't entirely sure why this happens. Some believe that Venus was hit by a massive asteroid billions of years ago, flipping its rotation. Others think gravitational forces from the sun could have slowly reversed it over time. But trust me, Venus's weird rotation is the least of its problems. With temperatures reaching 900 degrees Fahrenheit, Venus is so hot it could melt lead. If you stepped foot on the surface, your spacesuit would be destroyed almost instantly. Venus is a victim of a runaway greenhouse effect. Its atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide, which traps heat so efficiently that the planet has turned into an unstoppable oven. Unlike Earth, where heat escapes back into space, Venus's thick atmosphere locks it in permanently. That means Venus is an inferno all year round. No seasons, no temperature drops, just endless suffocating heat. If the heat doesn't kill you, the atmospheric pressure will. Venus's atmosphere is so thick that standing on the surface would feel like being 3,000 feet, 900 meters underwater. That's 90 times the pressure of Earth, enough to crush a human in seconds. Then there's the acid rain. Venus's clouds are made of sulfuric acid, which can burn through metal. However, because the planet is so hot, the acid evaporates before it even hits the ground. And if that wasn't terrifying enough, Venus is also home to some of the most violent storms in the solar system. Winds in its upper atmosphere can reach speeds of 224 miles per hour, almost as fast as a Category 5 hurricane. These winds never stop, circling the planet every 4 days. Venus is covered in volcanoes, more than 1,600 of them, some of which might still be active. In fact, Venus has more volcanoes than any other planet in the solar system. Its surface is also reshaped by lava flows, which means that Venus doesn't really have craters like the Moon or Mars. Instead, its landscape is constantly changing, erasing evidence of past impacts. Some scientists believe massive volcanic eruptions may still be happening on Venus today, occasionally releasing huge amounts of heat and gas into the atmosphere. But here's the craziest part. Venus wasn't always like this. Billions of years ago, scientists believe Venus may have had oceans and a climate similar to Earth's. Some even speculate that it could have once supported life. But then, something catastrophic happened. A runaway greenhouse effect turned Venus into the deadliest planet in the solar system. The oceans boiled away, carbon dioxide built up, and the planet's thick atmosphere trapped heat permanently. Venus is a terrifying warning of what could happen to Earth if climate change spirals out of control. Humans have sent probes to Venus before, but they don't last long. The Soviet Union's Venera missions were the first to land on Venus. Venera 7 barely survived 23 minutes before being destroyed. Venera 13 lasted just 127 minutes before the extreme heat and pressure crushed it. Even modern spacecraft can't handle Venus. NASA's Magellan probe used radar to map the planet in the 1990s, but it never even tried landing. So far, Venus has crushed every machine that dared to visit. Let's say you somehow survived the journey to Venus and stepped outside. Here's what would happen, step by step. Your lungs would burn instantly. There's no oxygen, just thick carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid. Then the heat would hit you. Your suit would melt within minutes. The pressure would crush you like a soda can. If your suit held up, the sheer weight of the atmosphere would end you. Finally, you'd be cooked alive. The temperature is hotter than an oven, and there's nowhere to run. Even if you could somehow hover above the surface, you'd still be dealing with hurricane-force winds blowing at 224 miles per hour. Some scientists believe we might one day terraform Venus, turning it back into a habitable planet. Ideas include using giant space mirrors to reflect sunlight and cool the planet, dropping bacteria into the atmosphere to absorb carbon dioxide, or even bombarding Venus with asteroids to change its atmosphere. Would it work? Maybe. Would it take thousands of years? Absolutely. But imagine Venus becoming Earth 2.0. Even with all its dangers, space agencies aren't giving up on Venus just yet. NASA has announced a new mission called Da Vinci Plus, which aims to drop a probe into Venus's thick atmosphere and collect data before it gets destroyed. Scientists are hoping that by studying Venus more closely, we might understand not just how planets evolve, but also how Earth could avoid a similar fate. There's also interest in exploring the possibility of Venus' upper atmosphere supporting microbial life. Yes, life in the clouds of Venus. While it may seem impossible, the conditions 30 miles above the surface are surprisingly Earth-like. If microbes can exist in extreme environments here on Earth, who's to say they couldn't survive in the acidic, but relatively mild, upper clouds of Venus? A day on Venus is longer than its year. The sun rises in the west and sets in the east. It's hot enough to melt lead. Its air pressure would crush a human instantly. Venus may have once had oceans and life. Its winds can reach 224 miles per hour, almost as fast as a Category 5 hurricane. It has over 1,600 volcanoes, more than any other planet. Some volcanoes may still be active today. And we're still trying to unlock its secrets. But hey, if you thought Venus was wild, wait until you hear about the planet that rains molten glass sideways at 5,000 miles per hour. All right, space explorers, what do you think? Could humans one day survive on Venus? Or is it a lost cause? Let me know in the comments. If you love mind-blowing space facts, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time with more Random World Facts.